How we doing today, everybody? It's Watch Display here, and thanks for joining me for another review. Sorry I haven't put any videos out in a while. I have been in the process of moving from Ohio down to Florida during these tough times, so it's definitely made it a little bit difficult to put out some videos. But today I have a review of an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and this is the newest release. And this one is the 38mm Royal Oak chronograph. The reference on this one is 26315 ST. And this one got a little bit, I guess, sidetracked. I wouldn't say sidetracked, but it really wasn't highlighted a whole lot because all the non-Royal Oak models kind of caused so much uproar in the watch community and in blogging or whatnot. And this one got kind of hidden, and a lot of people didn't realize they actually even put out a 38mm chronograph. They realized they put the 39 out of the non-chronograph, but they didn't realize they put this one out. And I think this is awesome because anybody that's ever put a Royal Oak on, they know that the integrated case actually makes the watch wear a little larger. So a 38 for me wears like a kind of like a 39 or a 40mm sports watch, true to size. And that's not like your typical 6-digit sports Rolex that actually wears a lot larger than a 40mm. But this one, I feel like wears closer to a 39 to 40mm true size sports watch with the integrated bracelet. This one does have the silver. They call it silver on the website. It does look very white in certain lighting, but they do call it silver tone. I call it silver white. And then it has beautiful dark blue and sometimes even lighter blue depending on the lighting, subdials, and I'm not going to call it a chapter ring, but the seconds ticks all the way around. There's blue there. And you might not be able to see on the video, but on the subdials, the outside ring is really nicely fine brushed, and then you got a circular pattern inside of that on the subdials. So you have a small seconds, you have hours, minutes, date, and then you have a column wheel chronograph on this one. So it measures in at 38mm, so of course it does wear a little larger, and it's 11mm thick and has a 50-meter water resistance. It does have screw down pushers, and you can see that even the finishing on these crown and on the pushers is insane. And on the crown guards, you'll see all the hand beveling is there, and then brushing. It is just really nicely finished. This one does only have a power reserve of 40 hours, which is pretty poopy, but I'm not really buying this for the power reserve. I'm really buying this because I'm getting kind of bored with Rolex sports models, and it kind of just gives me a little bit of a outlook on different variations of watches that are out there. This is the caliber 2385. It's 304 parts. It has really nice white gold markers. You can see that are extremely high polished and finished well, and awesomely enough, it does have some luminescence on the hands and on all the minute marks. And then of course you have your date. I'm not a huge fan all the time of dates at this location, but this one, it's done well. It's done nice. It doesn't bother me at all. And you can see the finishing on this one is just amazing. The only gripe I would say is it has your typical kind of butterfly style clasp, which kind of makes sizing a little bit tricky, but the links are so small that it's easy to get a good sizing on this one. I mean, you can see even the finishing on the sides. Look at all that brushing. And then you got like kind of like a sandblast area, and then Audemars Piguet. The finishing is just insane on this. Like it just blows Rolex out of the water in terms of finishing. It doesn't even compare, honestly. They're just like two different leagues. But, you know, Rolex has a lot of collectability. I also like how flat the clasp wears for daily use. It's a really well done clasp. And you can just see all the finishing on this bracelet. It's all done by hand. It's just amazing. It's finished to to an entire different level. And the only thing I would gripe about on this one is I wish I could see the movement. The movement is beautiful, but there's no, it's a solid case back, but it does make it wear nice and thin at that 11 millimeters. It's really nicely finished on the back side as well. And just this is a different, like anybody that's experienced the older Audemars Piguets, like the 36 and even the 39s, the older ones, I can't remember the reference, but where the AP was really large at 12, it still had rotating seconds or whatnot. It was a non-chronograph. Those bracelets were just kind of like the old 5-digit Rolex bracelets. They were just subpar in my opinion. This is a whole different league. Like, it feels like a Rolex sports bracelet in terms of durability, but it's so much more comfortable than a Rolex sports bracelet. I would pick this over Rolex any day of the week. It's just a different watch. And for me, the dial detail and just how beautifully finished this watch is, it just definitely gives a nice little oomph to the collection. And it's just a beautiful watch. They call this the Grand Tapisserie dial, obviously. Most people all know that. You can just check out that dial. It's beautiful. You can see how it just glistens, like it changes from like white to silver in different lighting. And you can just see how well finished this watch is. Retail price on this one is $26,300 US. Of course, they are selling higher than that. That's a good thing now. Maybe 3 years back, you could get a lot of the non-boutique models. You could get them at a decent price. And now they're really starting to sell up higher than what they actually retail for. And the chances of walking into any boutique and actually getting this, if you're not a big time buyer, are next to you're not going to get it, honestly. So if you want it, unfortunately, you have to pay over retail for this exact reference. It's a beautiful model though, and I'll give you an example of it on a 6.75 inch wrist. I got a no date 2-line 5-digit sub on. Hear that clingy bracelet. So we'll put it on my wrist, and then you can see how well it wears. I think it's honestly just the perfect size for my wrist. I've not owned the larger, well, I've owned the 39, but I've not owned the larger 41, I think it is, Royal Oaks. But this one, you can see it's perfect for the size of my wrist. It just fits amazing, and this one fits perfect. Got it right centered. It was really good to get a perfect fit. The only thing I would say, like I said, about the gripe of this is like it doesn't have like the Easy Link or the Glide Lock like Rolex bracelets do. Where like when it's hot, for instance, here in Florida, sometimes this bracelet can get a little tight at the sizing that I have it on, but it still fits fine. It's not like it's uncomfortable. It just would be nice if they had like maybe a small little Easy Link design maybe in these butterflies. I don't know how they could do it, or like where this would slide in a little bit or something like that, where it could fit on there. But other than that, it's a excellent sized watch in my opinion, and it doesn't look like too ostentatious. It's not like super large on my wrist. It just fits perfect, but it gives you enough heft, and it gives you enough presence on the wrist compared to, let's say, the older 36 and 35 millimeter non-chronographs. But I think it's a beautiful watch. Follow me on Instagram, and hope everyone's safe and doing well during these hard times, and we all will stay together and continue to try to push through it. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.